It is foraging day. We're going to collect some daylilies because I saw that you can pickle them. So of course we're gonna pickle them. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the daylily. The scientific name is Hemerocallis fulva. You're probably familiar with this flower. It's quite common on road edges. And the cool thing about this flower is that it only flowers for one day. This is why it's called daylily. But anyway, this plant is not native. It's actually from Asia, and it is considered invasive in some places, so I won't feel too bad about picking it up. But you can eat everything of the daylily. You can eat the flowers, you can put them in batter and then fry them up, and you can eat the buds pickled or like stir-fried in with a little bit of oil. You can eat the stems and the leaves when they are quite tender, so at the start of the season. Now they are a little bit too fibrous. And you can also eat the roots, the tubers. They say that they are quite similar to potatoes. I haven't tried those yet because I don't want to uproot the ones that are here, but I am thinking of waiting for those to go to seed and then try and plant them next year. I've read that for pickling, it would be best to pick up the ones that are still quite young, the more green ones, and to avoid the ones that are about to bloom, because they are more like squishy. I'm picking a mix, so we'll see what works out best. I am back home. I went to another few spots where I knew there would be daylilies, and I got quite a bit. Probably not gonna can them all. I think I'm gonna have them for dinner tonight as well. But I have already sterilized some jars by just boiling them in water for 10 minutes. And now we're gonna be making a very simple brine. For the brine, we need 1 cup of distilled water. I just boiled mine. And then 1 cup of vinegar. I'm just using white wine vinegar. I don't know why I find that so hard to say. And then 1 tablespoon of salt. This is non-ionized table salt. So 1 tablespoon of that. And then 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm using brown sugar because this is the only thing I have. Now that the brine is ready, I can start packing the buds vertically onto the jars, and then I'll be adding the aromas. I think you can put pretty much anything you like. I've got some garlic cloves, some chili flakes, pink peppercorns, and juniper berries, and also some bay leaves. I don't know if this is a good mix. I guess we will find out. Those should be ready in about a week, and they should last about a month if you keep them on the fridge. I did read that if you wanted to keep them for longer, you could actually boil the full jar so that you can properly can them, but I've also read that they would become very mushy, and I kind of like a crispy pickle. And I actually have tasted them with a little bit of the leftover pickle, and they're delicious. They have a very delicate taste. They taste a little bit like cucumber. I can't wait for those to be ready. improved. I don't know if you can relate, but in summer I feel like I am a crazy bee, just trying to get so many things done at once. I don't know, I feel like in summer everything is condensed because, you know, there's the garden you need to tend to, and then I've got maintenance or like DIY things that I want to do in the house that are much more enjoyable to be done in summer than in the freezing cold of winter. And then there's work. Like I feel in summer all my creative juices are coming out, so whether it's video making or jewelry making, I feel like I really need to make the best out of it. And because then it comes the winter slump, then there's hikes, places to explore, there's concerts, people that want to come around when the weather is nice. So anyway, it just feels like I'm overwhelmed by everything, and I often get workload paralysis. That's a new word that I've learned, which is when you have so many tasks, so many things that you need to do, but you just don't know where to start, so you end up doing nothing. And last year, around the same time as now, I made a video where I was trying to like organize my life, and in that video I was using Akiflow, who is the sponsor of this video, and I will say that since then it has become my best friend and I use it all the time. Akiflow is a powerful tool designed to help you staying organized and productive. I started using it to keep track of my deadlines, which I am really bad at keeping, to plan ahead my days and just to help my brain be a little bit less scattered. Akiflow provides an intuitive time blocking platform that makes it super easy and efficient to schedule tasks. It's used by professionals and entrepreneurs all around the world, and it's not hard to see why. It's super easy to use and allows you to dump all of your tasks and appointments in one place. You can drag and drop events on your calendar and move them around with one click, create slots with a breakdown of smaller tasks, use hashtags to keep track of your projects, color code, and so much more. Akiflow supports more than 3,000 integrations like Gmail, Notion, Slack, Todoist, so you can manage all of the things that you need to do, all of your appointments from different platforms in one place through their universal inbox. Akiflow also features an AI co-pilot that learns your habits, makes intelligent suggestions, and auto-assigns tasks based on individual preferences, making you save hours every week. A one-on-one onboarding call is also offered to help you make the best out of the platform. If you would like to have a more organized life and finally get things done, then go ahead and find out more about Akiflow by clicking the link in the description bar. Today I wanted to propagate a few plants. I love the idea of propagation, like you can get fresh new plants from a plant that you already have without having to go to the garden center. But before I do that, I've read online that you can make a rooting solution for when you're propagating by using willow branches. So I cut already a few branches, and I just saw that you need to cut them up and put them in water and then let it sit for about a week, and then you can give that to the plants because apparently the salicylic acid inside the willow helps the plants rooting. And I've read that you can use aspirin as well to do that because aspirin does contain salicylic acid, but I don't have aspirin. I do have willow. I've read that you need about 300 grams of willow branches per liter, so let's see how much I've got. Oh, really not that much. I've got 30 grams. How much is that then? Okay, I'm just gonna put enough water to cover them. Hopefully that will be fine. Yep. This potion is gonna be ready in a week, so I can't be using it today. But today I will be using some aloe vera gel because I read that that can also help with the propagation. And I'm gonna start with my pilea, which it's starting to look very weird, so I just want to keep those leaves on the bottom and try and propagate those ones in the top. So I've read that you can propagate the pilea leaves on water if you cut the leaf with a little bit of the stem on. So since this stem is pretty much naked the whole way through, I'm just gonna cut the stem at the base. I've cut the leaf with a little bit of the stem on, and before putting it on water, I'm just gonna rub it onto the aloe vera gel and then dip it in. The second plant that I would like to propagate is my blueberry plants, which are doing quite well, and I would love to have many more because one blueberry plant doesn't make that many blueberries, so I will need quite a few to fulfill my gluttony. And I saw that you can take fresh stems, like fresh growth, in June, so that's what I'm gonna do. You're going. For the blueberries, you'll want to remove all the leaves apart from the top 2 to 3, because you don't want to take energy from the plant. And then you'll want to cut the stem just under one of those leaf nodes, because that's where the roots have the best chances of growing. Whoop. And then I'll put just a little slice of aloe just under the end bit, and then I'm gonna put it on some sandy potting mix. This is actually cacti potting mix, so it's well draining, and blueberries seem to like it. And that's it. I'm gonna repeat it for the rest. I really hope that at least one of each works out. I would really like to get good at this, because you can also propagate fruit trees, and I don't know, I think it would be nice to have a bunch of plants that you're growing that then you can barter with other people. If you watched my Edinburgh videos, you will have seen how much I love dosas, which is it's a southern Indian dish that it's really difficult to find in Italy. I think that the closest restaurant that does them is in Milan, and so I thought, why not try and make it myself? So yesterday I prepared the batter, which is made by using rice, a kind of lentils, and then flaked rice, which is called poha. And then I also already prepared the potato masala, which is the filling that goes into the dosa. I will say I did try and make them yesterday, but I think that the batter wasn't really fermented, so it didn't really work out. This is how the dosa is looking, and honestly, I am impressed. Like, look at the filling inside, got the potatoes. Ooh! I even got a little bit of coconut chutney that I made yesterday, and I made it with dried coconut and coconut milk. The traditional thing is made with actual coconuts, so it's not tasting exactly the same, but this will do. And traditionally, the dosas are made in like huge flat pans. They're like this size. But I wouldn't know where to get my hands on those. I did order a crepe pan on Vinted that should get here next week, but I think all the butter is gonna be gone by then. Ah, I'm so happy. Okay. I am in heaven. Like, this is definitely not the kind that you get at the restaurant. The one at the restaurant is much crispier and thinner. This one is very fluffy. It's more like an idli kind. Idlis are like rice cakes, very common in the southern cuisine, southern Indian cuisine. But honestly, I'm not mad for being my first attempt. I think I'm gonna eat many of those. I didn't know if I would share this, but it's been a few weeks since I filmed the videos that you've seen, and the plants that I tried propagating, they're basically all dead. Look at this. This used to be the thyme. This used to be the lemon balm. And then we've got the blueberries over here. This is what's left of them. And this is the pilea, which is the only one that is not totally dead. And what happened is that I think I did everything right. And then I did everything wrong. I've put them under the full sun. And it's been extremely hot over here, like 35 degrees, if not over that. And they didn't have an ounce of shadow. And so the water was so hot that basically I was boiling the steams. And this is why they all died. Actually, for the blueberries, I had read to put a plastic bag on top so you could keep the moisture in. But of course, this made the sauna even hotter for those poor blueberries. But yes, I'm gonna try again and put them somewhere more in the shade and see if it works out. Yeah, I haven't been very lucky this time, but it was totally my fault. I have been able to propagate auto plants. Last year, I propagated this, which I forgot the name of, this kind of sedum, which has lots of little poppies as well. I'm looking forward to transplant it. And I also propagated rosemary and a few things. But yeah, it's always a bit of you just don't know how it's gonna turn out because every plant is a little bit different and needs different treatment. And of course, you don't want to put them right in the sun when it's like the hottest time of the year. I've learned my lesson. But in revenge, the pickles are incredible. Like, this is the last jar that I have, and they're really nice on salads. They're really crunchy. I am really enjoying them. I will say I don't have the weights for fermentation. So as you can see, they kind of go on top. So what I've been doing is that every day I just flip them so that the brine can kind of cover both sides. I've just finished reading this book, The Art of Frugal Hedonism, and I truly enjoyed it. And I thought that if you enjoy the content that I make, that you'll probably like this book as well. It is a little bit quirky, so it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, the way it's written, but the content was really fun and like, it made me look at things a different way. I mean, I would say that generally I am a fairly frugal person. So a lot of those things I was already doing, like, you know, not wasting food and like bringing your bottle of water everywhere, or like your bag everywhere, or like just trying to find things where you don't have necessarily to spend money to socialize, because you have the tendency of, whenever we want to see friends, we either go to the bar, to a restaurant, to the cinema, or anywhere, anyway, places where you have to spend money. And so, yeah, they were just giving lots of tips on how to basically enjoy your life more and put less weight on work. And there was one sentence that I'm gonna try and find, which actually was a quote from somebody else. Yeah, so the quote is from a blogger, David Kane, and it says, "Keeping free time scarce means people pay a lot more for convenience, gratification, and any other relief they can buy. It keeps them watching television and its commercials." Normally, when I read a book, I get rid of it, unless it's a book that I think I'm gonna read again. And so this, I think, is gonna stay in my library. Perhaps it would be fun to film a video on with frugal tips. I wouldn't say that I'm the most extreme frugalist, but over the years I have learned quite a few things, especially with living in the van, and now you know, with the house and living rurally, and like not being able to pop in the shop whenever you need something. Yeah, and it made me think a lot how, to me right now, I prioritize having free time so much more than having lots of money. And obviously you need money to live, and not everybody's in the position to speak like those people, or like I'm talking now. Like, sometimes you just need to work your bum off because of different circumstances. But I feel like there's a sweet spot where you kind of reach enough income to fulfill your needs, and then if you go beyond that, then you adjust your life to that income, and you start buying stuff that you think you need but you actually don't need, and those stuff you buy because you feel like they're gonna fill that void that you have inside you, that actually should be filled by having more free time probably, or like you think it's gonna placate your frustration from working a job that you enjoy, that you don't enjoy, and then actually it ends up having the opposite effect. Anyway, maybe I should sit down and write a script on this, and let me know if you like that. But anyway, thanks again to Akiflow for sponsoring this video, taking a little bit of money, and you will find the link in the description bar, and I shall see you very soon.